For most of history, your place in society was decided before you ever spoke a word. Your family name, where you were born, who your parents' new social class was visible, rigid, and hard to escape. People accepted it because it was obvious. You knew where you stood. But modern life promised something different. Freedom, mobility, a fair system where effort mattered more than background. And for a while, it looked real. Last names faded, neighborhoods changed, opportunity felt open. Yet quietly, a new gatekeeper took over. Not your accent, not your family, not your bloodline, but a number. Your credit score. It doesn't sound like class, it sounds technical, neutral, objective. But pause and look closer. This single number now decides where you live, what you drive, how much you pay, and sometimes whether you get a job. It follows you silently, judging risk, measuring trust, assigning value. Most people never chose it. They inherited it through circumstance, timing, and access. Credit scores were created to solve a problem. Lenders needed a fast way to judge strangers, to replace personal relationships with data. On paper, it made sense. Remove bias, use math, treat everyone equally. But systems reflect incentives, and this one rewards access, not effort. Credit is easiest to build when you already have stability, steady income, few emergencies, guidance. One missed payment can haunt you for years, not because of character, but because life happened, illness, job loss, bad timing. The score doesn't care why. It records behavior, not context. Over time, that number shapes opportunity. Higher scores unlock lower costs, cheaper loans, better housing, lower insurance. Lower scores raise prices, restrict choices, amplify stress. Money becomes more expensive the less you have. This is how class quietly reappears, not as a title, but as friction. Everything costs more, takes longer, feels harder. And here's the subtle part. Credit scores feel earned. They feel personal. People blame themselves, feel shame, hide mistakes. Yet the system is circular. Limited access increases risk. Higher risk raises costs. Higher costs increase mistakes. The loop tightens. Those with strong scores move faster. Those without fall further behind. Not because they work less, but because the system compounds advantage. Credit scores also change behavior. People delay life decisions to protect numbers, avoid risks, avoid movement, fear one wrong step. Freedom narrows quietly. Social class once limited who you could marry, where you could live, what future you imagined. Credit scores do the same thing, just invisibly. There is no single villain, no secret meeting, just incentives playing out over decades. A tool built for efficiency slowly became a measure of worth. Not legally, but practically. And because it's abstract, people accept it. Numbers feel fair. They don't argue, they don't explain, they simply decide. This doesn't mean credit is evil or that responsibility doesn't matter. It means power shifted from visible status to invisible systems. class didn't disappear, it went underground. Awareness changes how you see the system. It replaces shame with understanding, frustration with clarity. You stop asking what's wrong with you and start asking how the structure works. This channel exists to unpack those hidden systems calmly, clearly, without blame. If this perspective helped you see the modern world a little more clearly, stay curious, and we'll continue the story next time. Thanks for watching.